what's up everybody? So today I have something pretty neat on my desk next to me. It is ASUS's brand new X570 powered chipset motherboard here, Crosshair VIII formula, which costs around 600 euros. So is it worth it to spend 600 euros on a motherboard on a brand new X570 chipset? And you know, what extra does X570 bring you? Should you buy it or not? That's what we're gonna try and find out in today's review. So if you're interested, keep checking the video. But anyway, let's take a quick little peek at the motherboard, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it anyway. So now that we've taken a closer peek at the motherboard, I mean, it is pretty stunning motherboard, and it should be for 600 freaking euros. So that is, I guess, my only complaint about this motherboard. 600 euros, Jesus freaking Christ. What does it have that makes it 600 euros worth? Well, it does have quite a lot actually. And yeah, first of all, picking it out of the package, you know, the first thing that you see is just wow, what a great design. I mean, everything is really well thought out. I really love the glass looking, you know, or mirror-like looking finishes that all the formula motherboards from ASUS have. And that's why I personally am a fan of the formula motherboards. And on top of that, yeah, we do have a small OLED screen even on top of the I/O here, which is kinda neat, kinda useless, but yeah, still kinda neat, right? If you're paying 600 euros, I guess it's okay to add it, right? And yeah, the actual first thing after we look at the entire motherboard in whole, it also has a really nice back plate as well to, you know, even, you know, further help with the heat dissipation, right? And also, you know, make the whole motherboard a lot more rigid. But yeah, the first thing that really catches my eye is the freaking fan, the low dimension fan that is in this motherboard, right? And it's not a case just with ASUS, it is the case with almost all of the X570 motherboards out there, because AMD has done a little bit of a tweak up with the X570 chipset. Now, some motherboards don't have the fan, but it's just a really small portion of the whole X570 lineup, right? Now the reason behind it is because X570 chipset does not thermal throttle down the speed. Now all the older AMD chipsets throttled the chipset speed down a little bit when, you know, the temperatures got too hot, you played the game for a long period of time or something like that, right? Now the issue is, does it really affect the performance that much that we have to have a fan on top of the motherboard? In my opinion, no, it does not. But then again, you know, AMD might know something that we don't, right? But yeah, X570 chipset does not do any thermal throttling down, so it is always at full power, at full speed. So yeah, that's the reason behind the fan, and I'm not a fan of a fan. Now, I don't like fans in monitors, although, you know, ASUS's new monitors have really quiet fans finally, but it's still a little bit of a, you know, a safety issue, I guess. What happens when the fan dies, right? There's gonna be a time, few years maybe down the line, maybe you've already, you know, chosen a brand new, you know, brand new PC, a brand new motherboard by then, right? But what if you haven't, right? If the fan starts to die, right? If it dies with a loud noise, you know, making this really crackling, horrible noise, so you have to, you know, remove it. And if it dies, you know, quietly, does it take the motherboard with it? So those are my main issues. And it is really hard to change out a fan like that, because they don't really, you know, particularly sell, you know, ASUS motherboard fans anywhere, right? So you have to kind of, you know, do some homework there. But anyway, other than the fan, you know, I guess it's fine for now, right? But I definitely want to see, you know, X570 chipsets and, you know, future chipset without a fan. It does feel a little bit too prototype-ish. But that's just pretty much the only issue and the only problem that I have with the X570 chipset lineup in whole. It's not an issue for ASUS, it's for AMD to fix. But anyway, yeah, coming to other things about this motherboard that make this motherboard so great. I mean, the first thing that we also notice, it does have a proper water block for the MOSFETs, right? So the MOSFETs have been an issue quite some time. I don't have a heat gun to check out what the temperatures actually are, but I did check out Hardware Unboxed video, who made a really proper video checking out the thermals on multiple different, you know, manufacturer motherboards with the X570 chipset. So yeah, maybe I'll just link this video down below so you can check it out yourself. But ASUS's motherboards came into a really nice temperature range compared to the competition, or most of the competition, right? But anyway, yeah, it does have a proper water block for the MOSFETs, which is really nice, because a lot of people who spend 600 euros, the same price as you spend on a video card, pretty much, right? If they spend this on a motherboard, they pretty much, I'm gonna say, they're gonna go water, right? They're gonna go either on all-in-one water cooling solution or a custom water cooling solution. So you don't have to wait for, you know, I don't know, like EK to make a water block for the motherboard. It already has a proper water block, at least for the MOSFETs, right? So that's really nice to see here. Although I would have maybe, you know, hoped that it would also cool the chipset as well, so we could actually maybe remove the fan or something like that. But anyway, maybe for future versions of AMD X chipsets, right? But yeah, a nice little thing to see here. And plus, on top of that, PCI Express Generation 4 support. So what it exactly brings us is double the bandwidth. So meaning we do get double the bandwidth for our video cards, right? And our M.2 SSDs. Now, with video cards, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't really improve the frame rate at all, but with storage devices, right, with M.2 SSDs, which are getting more and more popular out there, and this motherboard has two proper M.2 SSD slots underneath a nice little heatsink, right? Then yeah, you do get double the bandwidth. Now I don't have a proper Gen 4 M.2 SSD yet, so I can't really test out, you know, how much have the loading times in games improved compared to Gen 3, right? So this is a pretty interesting thing that I actually want to test out maybe in the future then. But I need to get my hands on a pretty expensive PCI Express Gen 4 M.2 SSD, and I definitely need more than 1 terabyte, right? So they're pretty expensive. I think 2 terabytes Gen 4 Corsair's drive costs around like, was it like 400 to 600 euros? It's expensive at the moment. So I don't have it at the moment, but if I do, I'm gonna try and bring you guys a little benchmark video or something like that. You know, is it actually worth the money? Because yeah, it is double the bandwidth, but how much does it actually improve real life, you know, usage? Like if we load up our favorite game, does it actually load up twice as fast? Or at least like maybe 20% or 30% faster? Then I guess that already would make it, you know, a pretty nice deal, at least for me. If I can get 30% better, you know, loading times, that's a win in my book. So that would actually make me, you know, really wanna upgrade my PC. If I get 30% better load times in games. So, because that is a real, you know, game killer for me. You know, yeah, I want to play my favorite game, I'm gonna launch it, and I need to wait 5 minutes until I get into my game, actually, right? So yeah, something that I really want to check out, but I haven't had the chance. But this motherboard does have the support of PCI Express Gen 4. But yeah, on top of that, I mean, it does have a lot of, you know, all sorts of ports as well. Not gonna name them in the video, but you can see it on the homepage of the motherboard, right? But the main thing that I want to, you know, mention here is that you can actually get away with buying the most cheapest X570 motherboard out there versus maybe this, because this is more for the enthusiasts and more for the very rich people out there, right? So if some people, you know, want to put, you know, their entire paycheck on a motherboard, then they can do so, but it is gonna cost them an entire paycheck, right? But anyway, you can get away with the most cheapest version, as there's no performance loss compared to the most cheapest X570 motherboard out there. The only thing that you are going to lose is the build quality, right? All sorts of ports that you're gonna be missing out, right? And of course it doesn't look as pretty, right? So you have to ask yourself, do you really actually need all these features that this motherboard brings on the table? Or, you know, get a maybe a little bit cheaper ASUS X570 motherboard. So there's a ton of options out there, but overall, I mean, the Crosshair 8 formula motherboard is a really amazing X570 motherboard. So if you want the best of the best, this is pretty much what to get if you have a ton of freaking money. Anyway, I'm going to be giving this motherboard a proper 9 out of 10, and yeah, it does just, I would have given it a 10 out of 10. It is the price that is, you know, holding it back a little bit, and the fan. I don't want to see any fans on a motherboard. But other than that, I mean, it's just a really well thought out motherboard, really great design job, a really great, you know, build quality here. I mean, ASUS is doing just an absolute incredible job with their ROG lineup, at least, you know. So, I mean, anyway, that's going to be it for my quick little review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, hit the like button, and if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments section. And yeah, if you haven't subscribe. And that's gonna be it for me for today. Thanks for watching. See you later. Ciao for now.